For more on this, Eleanor Clift joins me now. She's a columnist at the Daily Beast, an American publication based out of New York. Welcome back, Eleanor.
Thank you for having me.
Always. So these 10 Republican senators are proposing a relief package that, as we hear, less than a third of what Biden wants. Clearly a lot needs to happen for both sides to compromise.
There's no way that President Biden could accept a package that's a third of the size that he believes is needed. But there is the possibility maybe that they could break off the section of pandemic relief and pass that with Republican votes, and then take the rest of the package and use this procedure, it's called reconciliation, which allows the party in power to pass with a simple majority of 51 votes. It's how President Trump got his tax cut through in 2017. So it's not an unusual procedure, but what the Republicans don't seem to want is direct aid to cities and states. And that's really a hangover from the Trump years, believing that the cities and states are Democratic strongholds and that somehow the money is going to boost Democratic groups. Actually, everybody's hurting throughout the country, and states and cities need federal funds, or they're going to have to lay off health workers. They're not going to be able to sufficiently open the schools and so on. But President Biden is making a show of, and I think it's sincere. I mean, he worked for 36 years in the Senate. He's familiar with the give and the take and the negotiating, and every senator has to have his or her say. So I think this is part of the process. But after being elected to push through major relief, economic relief and vaccine relief, there's no way he could drop back so significantly to meet what the Republicans would like.
But he also has to make sure that he does all this without alienating his own Democratic base. Isn't that right?
No, that's exactly right. He's got to keep 50 Democrats together. Mm-hmm. And if he goes too small, the progressives in the Democratic Party are going to stand up and complain. On the other hand, he doesn't want to alienate Republicans who he will need for other legislation down the road, where he's not going to be able to pass it with a simple majority, and he'll need Republicans. It's a political balancing act that's very hard to pull off. I don't know if he can, but he's well positioned to do it because he has real respect for how the legislative process works. You know, President Trump didn't think much of Congress, and President Obama was very aloof from the legislative process, even though he did serve 2 years in the Senate. So it's the expertise and the sort of the respect on both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue that Biden brings to this office, and it gives him a fighting chance to get his program and to still keep some measure of bipartisanship and goodwill from the Republicans.
Yeah, I mean, very quickly though, Eleanor, because we're running out of time, but it is a balancing act, as you call it, but does it not also feel like the Republican caucus is dictating the agenda again, and this time using Biden's very own pledge for national unity to advance their own agenda?
Right, which is why he can't accept what the Republicans are putting forward. But, you know, we're going to have a trial of President Trump in just another week. And the Republicans are really in a bind over what to do about that. They need the support of his voters. And yet President Trump, the former president, seems to want to argue that the election was wrongly decided and he's really the president, which is not based in fact.
Right.
So balancing acts, they're balancing acts on both sides of the political aisle about different issues.
Eleanor Clift, always a joy to speak with you. Thank you.
Thank you.